The business project junior year was filled with a lot of deadlines. Well, not that many deadlines, but overall, career ed was filled with deadlines, projects, assignments, and a whole lot of speakers and researching, scholarships. It was a big mess of things. The business project was very hard. Well, it wasn't that hard, it was just time consuming. And that's something that I've learned off of the career ed project is that when you're given time to work on something, work on it because it's very um, precious. You don't get that time back. Um, that business project, you could tell that when people presented them who procrastinated, who didn't. Procrastinating, a lot of phone calls were made, a lot of text messages were made. For the business project, I remember staying up like 48 hours. I didn't sleep for the past 2 days. I was just working on that project. I was dedicated to do it. My group members also stayed up with me. We ended up turning in the project like at 7:30 in the morning. The college board, that's another thing that was very not time it was time consuming. It was just he would give us a college and we would have to make a college board out of it, give lots of like information, like accurate information. So that was a lot of researching on our part. So again, time came and it left, and that was very nerve wracking. But I ended up getting that done. I think I got no, never mind. I don't remember the college that I got, but my college board was really good. Um, that college board, I think it took me that night. I again procrastinated. Junior year was filled with a lot of procrastination. Um, the speakers that went to speak with us were all amazing. Some stood out better than others. You can tell who practices their speeches and who doesn't. The guy that stood out to me was a speaker from St. Mary's, and his presentation was the pretty basic general college, the general like college like this is my college, this is who I'm representing. But I guess the way he spoke and the way he was giving information is what like stood out to me. He was very like confident and um, wasn't very wasn't very hesitant about answering questions. Knew exactly what to answer with certain questions. The mock There was also a thing that we had to do during junior was like the mock interviews, and that was very nerve wracking. I remember I was sweating that day. The mock interviews are they're pretty easy if you practice. If you do your like bracket logs, you had to do that. The mock interviews, you just had to dress up nicely, do your resume, cover letter, just know exactly what you're putting on there. And if you know what you put on your cover letter and your resume and you don't just BS it, I think your interview is pretty good. You would be able to answer any questions if you were to like practice with like other people, different people. What to do is always keep eye contact with the person. Don't say a lot of ums. Be confident in your answers. If you're not sure about a question and you're caught a little bit off guard, to just tell them that it's a great question, that you just need a second to think about it, and actually take that second to think about it, because your interview, you only get it once, and your first impression is only one time. So take the most advantage of it. What not to do is don't look away, don't look down, don't just be looking at your papers in front of you. When you talk to them, you want to speak up. You don't want to keep like a low voice and like stay in the back and you know. So you want to like emphasize, like project their voice so they can hear you, be confident. Fast track was, I like fast track. It was a new thing. I'm not used to staying like a month. Before I went to Jefferson Middle School, so I always had my 2 month break. So that was something new. I had to stay here for an extra month. My first fast track, I did PE, and that's when our old sports director and all of them were here, like Coach Diaz and like Woods. And for fast track PE, it was literally the last year where they actually did stuff, because this year they don't do anything. That fast track PE was so hard. I woke up every day sore. I couldn't lift up my arms or my legs. It was a legit workout session for 4 hours, and at the end of it, it was pretty fun. Fast track was good. I always passed my classes during fast track. I think that maybe the year was kind of like fast track. Most people would pass their classes. There's so many things that career ed goes over, like researching like what you want to go over, what you want to do with your life, what colleges to go to, what colleges are best suited for you, to know if they're accredited. So if they close down, you're still good, and you could just transfer your classes to another school or something. It really helps you figure out what you kind of want to do. I figured out what I wanted to do, and that was I always wanted to be an architect, but through career ed, it helped me find out that I wanted to be an urban planner, which is someone who designs cities, and that is just amazing. Honestly, I wouldn't have thought of it if I wouldn't have researched it, and because of career ed, I researched it, and I know what I want to do. The etiquette class that we had with Tina Wednesdays, was amazing. She was fun, active. I learned a lot off of her, and I'm very grateful that she was able to go to class and like help us.